Hey guys, it's Amy and welcome back to my channel, or hello if you are new. So for today's video I'm going to be giving you guys my top tips for surviving London. I've been to London a lot of times, so I have plenty of experience when it comes to surviving the city. Before we start, make sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and before we get into it, I just want to let you all know I'm not encouraging you guys to travel to London at this time. I mean, you can travel after this is all done, but right now is probably not the best time. So without further ado, let's get started. Hello, so I'm currently editing this video and I'm going to be looking down a lot on my laptop because I can't remember, sometimes I can't remember stuff I'm reading. So if you see me looking down at any point in this video, that's why. Okay, enjoy! My first tip to surviving London is to have an itinerary planned. It's very important to have an itinerary on you when you're in London and when you're travelling around London. If you don't have an itinerary, then you'll have to think of things to do while you are there, and it can be very stressful. The past few times I've been to London with my friends and family, we've always had an itinerary planned, just so we know what we're doing and when we are actually doing it. So this is the itinerary that we used last year when I went on holiday in London. It says basically everything that we did and the day that we did it and the timing and that. So then we've got here like the key routes and that. So yeah, that's my itinerary from when we went to London. Itineraries are very useful as you know exactly when you are doing certain activities. My second tip is bring some trainers with you. Trainers are a very important item to carry with you in your luggage. If you don't bring trainers with you, then your feet will get very sore, and we don't want to have plasters on our feet when we're trying to explore the city. When I went to London last summer, my feet started to hurt, lots of feet, while we were walking down to the museum, and we had to go to the shop to buy me a pair of shoes just so we could continue with the day. So trainers are very important to bring with you just in case your feet start to hurt. Although I should point out that on the day that we had to go to the shop, I was wearing black trainers that I had since March of that year, so yeah. My third tip is to travel light if you can. This is probably better if you're travelling to London for a few days to a week, because if you travel light you can save for all the souvenirs that you buy in the city. And it's also easier when you're travelling through the airport, as you don't have to go through all the fuss when going through baggage control. Last summer, me and my family brought small suitcases that went in the overhead bins on the plane, and we just brushed through the airport really quickly. Although we did put our suitcases in the hole on the way home, and we just went through baggage reclaim so we could get them again. So that's why you can travel light. My fourth tip is to bring cash and cards with you. This is probably essential when travelling to London, because if your card fails in a shop, then you can use cash to pay for everything. Bringing your card is also important, because if you bring cash with you, then you have a high risk of it getting stolen. The last 2 times I went to London, I brought both my cash and my bank card with me so I could buy things quicker. In my opinion, paying for something with card is quicker than using cash, as you can use contactless, and if you just use cash on your own, then it will take some time for you to get the correct amount of money out of your purse. And that's why you should bring a mixture of both. Tip number 5 is to stay close to who you are travelling with. This is probably one of the most important things to remember when you're travelling to London. The reason why is that it is important is that because London is such a big city and it's busy, it's easy for you to get separated, so it's important to stick together and stick safe. When I went to London with friends in October, we split into 2 groups, so one went one way and the other group went the other way, and then we met at the theatre. Also, if in your separate groups, it's important to use technology like your phone so you can let the other group know when you are, when and where you are. Tip number 6 is to find somewhere to stay overnight if you're travelling for the day. If you're spending the day in London for a school trip or anything, it's important that you find a hotel or somewhere in London that you can stay the night. If you and a group of people that you're travelling with do not do this, then it can become very stressful. I went to London in October with some friends to see a play, and it was really stressful as we went down early in the morning and came back late at night. It was super stressful because we had to get 2 trains and the last one was super busy, so if you find a hotel to stay in, then you can reduce any stress you may have. Plus, it's a great way to do all the things that you didn't get to do before you get your train home. And tip number 7 when it comes to surviving London is have fun. I mean, if you're going on holiday, you're there to have fun. That's the most important part. And it's a very important thing to consider when you're travelling. And if you do not have fun, and you do not bring an itinerary, then your trip is 100% likely to be boring. Just remember that London is such a big and busy city. There's so much to do there. And I know from personal experience because I've done lots of things since I was in London. I think the first time I went to London was in like 2008 or something to go to the theme parks. But it wasn't like the middle of London. Like, there's so much to do and see, like seeing a show in the West End. I've seen a few Hamilton Les Mis and that, going to a museum and going on the London Eye. There is something for everyone to do in London, regardless of age. You're going to have a fun time. And tip number 8 is to bring a camera with you. A camera is probably one of the most important things to include in your luggage. And it's important to bring a camera with you because you can take photos of your journey throughout London and share it with your friends. So throughout the times I've been in London, whether it be school trips, guide trips, or with my family, then I've taken photos, and these photos basically document where I've been and what have I gotten up to. So it's an essential thing to carry with you. I hope you enjoyed this video and that you follow these tips when you next travel to London when this is over. I'm not saying you should travel to London right now because these tips have really helped me when I've been to London over the years. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss out on any of my videos, and I will see you all very soon. Bye!